break, I'm sitting here watching the last of the Pittsburgh-San Diego game, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell it was they were reviewing on that. The final play between the Chargers and the Steelers, San Diego trying to throw some laterals. Palomalu breaks it up and runs it in for the touchdown, yet they were reviewing something, so I didn't get what the deal with that was. That's interesting. Anyway, this is the Sports Buzz broadcast live via the Ustream, part of the SoMaCal Media Network. Ryan Bonifant alongside Todd Buono. And Todd, an interesting NFL Sunday. Some games not going the way I thought they were going to go. You know, Denver somehow beating Atlanta. Thought that was an easy win for the Falcons. And then, you know, like I said, seeing Pittsburgh win one over San Diego. Well, now they took off the points, and I mean Pittsburgh still wins, but what is up with that? What was under review on that whole thing? What was the point of reviewing that?
I don't know. I guess if contact was made for the fumble, I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter anyway. I really don't understand.
That's the thing I don't get. What was the point of reviewing all that? I mean,
looking at
you took 6 points off, and Pittsburgh still wins 11-10. Hickabilly seeing if Palomalu had stolen the ball from with his hair. That's a possibility. But, you know, some interesting things with the NFL that was being talked about. Of course, Tony Romo coming back tonight, taking on the Washington Redskins. We kind of talked about that in our Sports Buzz NFL Locks, talking about how much of an impact will that make with him coming back to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Now, there's another quarterback who not at this immediate moment is going to be considered an impact guy. But on Thursday night, if you watched the New York Jet, New England Patriot game on NFL Network or NFL.com, however you were able to catch it, Matt Castle turned in one of his best performances of the year, 400 yards passing, 62 yards rushing, the first ever quarterback to go 400 yards and over 50 yards rushing. And now there are some talks that Matt Castle could possibly be one of the more highly sought free agents going into next season to be a quarterback that can compete or start for a franchise.
Why not? I guess would be the question. Just be careful that you don't get Sam Mitchell here. You know, we've seen him progress so far this season, and, you know, the big thing about Castle was, well, he never had an opportunity. So now we're seeing him get that opportunity. You know, but you've got to be, I think if you're an NFL franchise, you've got to be careful here, because the more games he plays, the more people are going to be able to see him and game plan him and maybe make adjustments for him. You know, right now he's kind of catching the league by cold because, you know, how do you game plan for him? There's no video out there. You know, what are you going to do, look at his high school videos?
And with that said, though, too, you bring up a good point. How often have we seen a quarterback come in, you know, when no one has any footage on him, and all of a sudden just takes the NFL by storm? You know, a prime example was when Jeff Blake had become the starter for the Cincinnati Bengals. Remember, this is, oh my gosh, the long ball. Jeff Blake, he's, you know, was lighting up the Dallas Cowboys in his first start as a Cincinnati quarterback. Then all of a sudden, some footage had been, you know, taped of him. Mm-hmm. Teams started to game plan his style quarterback, and all of a sudden he became pretty much a novice, pretty much a nobody in the NFL game. You know, so you have that with Matt Castle, but you look at the teams that need a quarterback. Kansas City is a team that looks as though they could use one. I mean, Thigpen's been playing solid. Yeah. But is that a guy they want to put some stock in? I mean, there's a reason why he was third string behind Brody Croyle and Damon Heward. Yeah. You know, I mean, you look at some other teams that could use a quarterback. Minnesota is in stock. Because, I mean, Gus Farad isn't going to be a team. And how about this? At first when I heard this, I think it was the most brilliant thing. A coworker of mine, when we were talking about this, he said, watch for Matt Castle to be heavily sought out by Tampa Bay.
Makes sense.
How? I mean, that would be, it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, no.
Gruden loves his quarterbacks. Matt Castle's a young guy, especially when you got all these veterans. Do you think it's too far out of the way for Gruden to say, hey, I want Matt Castle as my quarterback?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's out of the question at all. Again, as we see Tampa Bay again today pull the bunny rabbit out of the magic hat somehow. They're not really set. I know they have Garcia, but everybody knows it's temporary. His contract is about to be up also. So there's going to be some changes to that quarterbacking system down in Tampa, or over in Tampa, I should say, and Castle could be a fit. I think the question that I have, and it may be sacrilege to say this, but if you're New England, and you got to look at the situation. Castle's a young guy. Can you throw some money at him? Maybe keep him around. Maybe as a backup. I don't know if that's possible. He may want more money to go and be a starter somewhere. But do you start to look at the flip side of the coin where we've had a good run, and I know it's sacrilege to say this, but we've had a good run with Tom Brady. He is getting older. He does now have one major injury under his belt.
Which, by the way, he is not rehabbing well at all. All the problems that he is having with that knee and the infections, the post-ops that they've had to do on his knee to remove the infection, remove the repair they had to make to just re-repair it because of all the complications that have happened from that. That is a big story as well, if that's a guy. And, I don't see that as being too far sacrilege. I mean, again, Tom Brady, in my opinion, if he retired today, would be a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. I do feel that strong about it. But I mean, that's not too far-fetched. I mean, but it also depends. You wonder about the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. He's going to be getting a head coaching job next year. Does Matt Castle go with him? Or, think about this, and Mortensen kind of teased this morning as well. What if the Jets go after Matt Castle?
It's possible. They know that Favre is a short-term fix for them, and I don't think anybody expects the Jets to get 2 or 3, more than 2 or 3 years out of Favre. It's not out of the question at all. Yeah, they certainly could go after Castle. These are all valid points, and Ryan, there's going to be a lot of teams. A lot of teams need quarterbacks from top to bottom. So Detroit needs a quarterback. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks. So Castle's phone will ring. It's just going to be. I guess it's just going to really depend on him and who he wants to answer for.
Well, let's